improved health markers, and more.
It looks good now.
But first, we are going to check in with Barbara Arnwine. Hi, Barbara. Can you give us an update on what you've been up to?
Thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you, Justin. First of all, thank you so much for hosting the show. Thank you, Coach Harvey, for being our guest. Thank you, Caitlyn Cobb, our social media director, for all of your leadership and all your help in working on igniting change. First of all, before we talk about anything, I want to remind everyone that Igniting Change is part of the Transformative Justice Coalition, which is an organization that I have the honor of serving as the president. The Igniting Change is our radio show, and we have a weekly newsletter that Caitlyn Cobb works on called The Transformer. If you want to get really good information every week about what's going on in voting rights, criminal justice reform, policing, what's going on with economic justice issues, environmental justice issues, if you want to get the full range, you need to get the Transformer. How do you do that? You go online to TJ Coalition. That's T as in transformative, J as in justice, coalition, COALITION.org. O-R-G. That's tjcoalition.org. So we hope that you will become part of our Transformative Justice newsletter community and that you will get the Transformer. I have been, Justin and Caitlyn and all my listeners throughout the country and the world, I have been in Los Angeles for the last almost 3 weeks co-teaching with the amazing, brilliant, and visionary Professor Kimberly Crenshaw here at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA Law School. And I have served as their distinguished practitioner in residence, Justin. And that means that you are a lawyer who has a substantial legal practice in an area that they know their students would want to know more about. Well, UCLA has something that almost, in fact, no other law school has. And that is a concentration in what's called critical race studies. Critical race studies. It's all based on critical race theory. And you learn a lot about how American law is, in fact, the law of race. And you learn a lot about how the Constitution works in the area, or doesn't work in the area of racial justice because of the way it's constructed. You learn so much about what's needed for real law reform in our country, what's needed in the courts to be heard when we're arguing cases. So I've been having a ball because I've been working with Professor Crenshaw teaching her civil rights class. And it is a survey class of everything from the Constitution's creation to, through the slave period, Dred Scott, oh my goodness, all the way to the Civil War, to the creation of the post-Reconstruction amendments, the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendments, all the way through the, period of Reconstruction, through the post, the Deconstruction era of what we call, slavery by another name, where we see the convict leasing, the horrible sharecropping, and of course the Great Migration to break the back of sharecropping in the United States. And you see, we go all the way up through the 1920s, the 1930s. We talk about the 1940s and how, the United States invested in creating white wealth. We talk about the Homestead Act, in the late 1800s that created white wealth. In essence, that was an act that gave land away, millions and millions and millions of Native American land that was stolen to whites to make them rich. And many white immigrants. So don't be listening to all this anti-immigrant nonsense because these laws were really designed to make white rich and so this is all this newfound, anger about immigration was never extended to white immigrants historically, and still isn't. If you watch what the president has said, remember he said that if he had his way, he would like a lot more immigrants from Norway. That means white. So anyway, so we come through, the whole era of World War II, the whole era of, creating what we call the white middle class, home ownership, where they took our tax dollars, black and brown tax dollars, and gave it to white people to, have homes, to build homes. And we know the number one wealth in this country is based on home ownership. So we go through all of that, and we come all the way up through the 1960s and the modern Civil Rights Act, and we talk about what they've done and what they haven't done. We talk about what's going on in the criminal justice arena today. We talk about what's going on in the employment discrimination arena today. We talk about what's going on in all of these different areas. We look at Title VII, we look at Title VIII, we talk about Title VI, we talk about all these major civil rights laws, everybody. And we even, one of our classes, we talk a little about the American Disabilities Act. So we cover, most of the big laws. We talk about the problems of equal pay, etc. So it's been a great course. I've been, really happy to be part of it. We actually, Justin, did oral arguments where we had our students take some difficult hypos, and we are doing our last oral argument today. We're working on our final exam, so it has been an honor and a pleasure to be part of that. And of course, as most people may not know, I am a native Californian, so it's been really good to be home, to see friends, to go to church with my sisters, to hang out, and I was blessed, Justin, to give a speech to the Wayfinder Foundation. Shout out to Wayfinder Foundation for the great work they do in supporting women of color activists who are making social justice change in their local neighborhoods. Thank you, all over the country. And I was part of their annual conference, and they pulled in, the women from, I would say 60 women, it looked like, from all over, and there were, about 70-plus people, involved, and they really give them a lot of tools. So I spoke on voting rights, and what I did was I just did a history of African-American women and the fight for voting rights. But that meant, I had to tell the whole story about the African-American fight for the voting rights. And I want to thank Caitlyn Cobb for helping me to put together the PowerPoint presentation. That was a hit. I want to thank Nakima Levy Armstrong, who is one of the program officers at the foundation, for involving me. She's an incredible activist, if you don't know her, out of Minneapolis. And I want to thank her and Akira and so many other people who made it possible for me to be part of that. So you can tell, Justin, if you ask me what have I been doing, I've been busy doing the work, doing the racial justice work. I'm so happy you're focusing on health today, because health is so important, people. I know I got to do my part. I've been looking and saying, I got to get busy and start, keeping my health going. A lot of us were
2 minutes.
At 51. It's just a reminder that our health, our mental health, our psychic health, our physical health is so important. Money doesn't take care of that. It only takes care of it as we manage our health. So thank you, Justin. Thank you for having me on today.
Okay, Barbara, really quickly, how can our audience stay involved with what you're doing?
They can follow me at Barb73. I'm constantly active on Twitter, and I am one of those people who tweet a lot. So I tweet all kinds of good information, and I'm not just talking about what color, dress I'm wearing or something silly. I'm talking about what's going on with, racial justice in this country, environmental justice, foreign policy, African American.
1 minute.
In this United States, the African diaspora. I do a lot of tweeting, so please, if you want to follow me, go to Twitter. I'm at Barbs73, and I'm on Facebook at Barbara Arnwine, or Barbara Arnwine. But thank you, Justin.
All right, and when we come back, we are going to talk about that health and wellness. Like you said, it was sad to see that Director John Shingleton died at age 51, and definitely not lacking resources. This is not money can't save you when it comes to health and wellness. It's a much more personal issue than that. So we'll get to that when we come back at Igniting Change. Don't touch that dial.
This report is sponsored by Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. Brandywine Road, both northbound and southbound between Prince Frederick Road and St. Mary's Church Road, remains closed for sinkhole repair. This is right near Carriage Crossing Lane, so you're going to want to avoid that area. On the BW Parkway, traveling northbound, very slow for you because of construction between 450 and 410 that takes away your right lane. And reopened after a structure fire, Barney Circle in southeast, eastbound and westbound between Pennsylvania Avenue and Southeast Boulevard has been reopened, but Kentucky Avenue remains closed for fire investigation. And in Gaithersburg, as you make your way on 270 northbound, you're going to be slow around 124 because construction takes away your right lane. And on the southbound side, very heavy delays from 118 to get to 124. That construction takes away your left lane. With more than 6,000 hotels across the country, a great hotel by Wyndham is
Stand by.
direct at wyndhamhotels.com. I'm Christine Eads for 1450 AM and 95.9 FM WOL, where information is power.
Welcome back to Igniting Change with Barbara Arnwine. Call us with questions or comments at 1-800-450-7876. That's 1-800-450-7876. Every year, Americans adopt diets which they aren't able to sustain over time. Similarly, we all buy all kinds of exercise equipment and gym memberships that aren't used. Coach Harvey, can you explain how fitness and a healthy lifestyle became part of your daily life?
Thank you, Justin. Certainly. One of the things that made me include this fitness and healthy living as a part of my life was understanding that number one, health is our first wealth. So, when we think about our body's a temple. And if we look at it like that, then it would behoove us to basically say, hey, you know what? I need to make sure that I'm in the best physical shape that I can be, if for nothing else, to enjoy the things that I like in life. Secondarily, you want to be there for your family, for your friends, for your loved ones, so you want to be able to move and experience life with them as well. So for me, it was important to make sure that I'm able to stay healthy and not leave it in the hands of someone else.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What advice would you give to someone starting over in their pursuit of their best physical health?
Well, I would say this, that the best program for anyone is one that they can do consistently. All right? So a lot of times people do an all or nothing approach. There's a reason why year after year that people will approach January 1st and say, hey, I'm going to have my New Year's resolution. I'm going to do this year. And for 30 days, most people are enthusiastic, they're committed, they're motivated, and they will do that short-term program. But then comes February 1st, about half of those people fall off. And then by March 1st, hardly anybody is sticking to their New Year's resolution. So the key to basically getting back in the groove, getting back in the swing, however we want to phrase it, is to, number one, just get moving. Commit to doing something every day. I tell a lot of my coaching clients in the beginning, hey, just give me 15 minutes in the morning. Play your favorite song and just dance for 15 minutes before you do anything. They may be time strapped. They may have a limited ability, but what that does, it allows them to start dancing and start moving for 15 minutes every morning. That builds the habit. And then from there, I start to incorporate body weight movements in that dancing. So maybe they're dancing for a few minutes and then they're doing body weight squats or something like that. And then as they continue to become motivated, it becomes habit, then it can progress into something a little more advanced based on their fitness level. So pick something, that you enjoy doing. I would say pick your 3 favorite songs, 4 favorite songs in the mornings. Start dancing first thing in the morning. That'll get you going. Then as you develop that habit again, then you can start adding in some other things that, strength-based, core-based, flexibility-based exercises, and that will lead you back on that path to getting back on track to your fitness goals.
Okay, so in the morning, before you do anything, 15 minutes of body movement. Put on your favorite song, play it twice, 3 times, get in the habit of just moving around for 15 minutes, and then gradually increase the amount of effort you're putting into it. Don't start off expecting that you're just going to one day go from rushing out the house to now you're just going to get up and do pull-ups,
Exactly. And so since the weather is nice outside, maybe people want to get outside in various parts of the country. So, again, adopt a walk-run program. Get up in the morning, go for a little walk. Make yourself get up, go for a walk. Same thing, go for a walk, listening to your favorite songs. And then eventually, what you'll do is you'll get in the habit of walking. Maybe you start walking faster. Maybe you'll start adding a light jog. The reason why you want to do this in forming your habit, and the reason why it's so important, because there's a paradigm shift in the way that we approach, health. The old paradigm, at least as far as my philosophy, my coaching program goes, is that I have people now focusing on getting healthy from the inside. I also have them focusing on doing something that's mentally achievable. So again,
mentally
you think about walking, you think about
man.
dancing, you don't think about it as being a mountain that I have to climb, and you're not inundated with a list of instructions to do in order to get healthy. So this paradigm shift that I focus on is to get healthy from the inside. And if we do that, and to focus on the mental side of it, which will add into, maybe initially it's the external motivation, but then you become intrinsically motivated. You're going to become self-motivating as you start doing and creating these habits. So the paradigm shift that I focus on now, get healthy on the inside. Let's work on getting the body right. Then if we do that from the inside, as a byproduct, you'll lose weight. Your health markers, blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, which is all epidemic proportions in our community, they will start to self-correct to a certain degree, and then it'll be less dependency on prescription medications, because that does nothing to help our physical health, and our overall wellness. It's not treating the symptom. It's treating the symptom and not the cause. And that's what we want to, again, food is our medicine, movement is our medicine. And so if we take that approach with that paradigm shift that I focus on and getting healthy from the inside and educating the people in our community to understand, hey, it doesn't have to be this all or nothing. I can take these incremental steps because it's a lifestyle that I'm adopting, not a diet.
Yeah, I completely agree. Also, I feel like that's the cure to the gym membership problem, is that you go, like you said, that first month you're going hard. You're like every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday, I'm going to be there for at least an hour. And then what happens is the next month comes around and you go, well, I can do Monday and Friday this week, but I can't do Wednesday because, I don't have an hour on Wednesday. And then the next week it's, well, I can do Friday, but I can't do Monday. And all of a sudden you just don't use it anymore.
Right, and then you fall off your program. And then, again, that's a pattern also. So, again, the people that I coach around the country, and a lot of them I've never met. I do it virtually. One of the things that I tell them constantly is this. Let's be realistic about the time that you're going to allot to exercise. Let's not say what you hope to do. Let's be realistic. You got, life gets in the way. So if they say, hey, I got 15 minutes a day. That's it for right now. Okay, fine. How many days a week do you think you can work out? I can do 7. Are you sure? Okay, 5. Are you absolutely sure? No, I can do 2. Okay, so now we're realistic about it. So once we do that, then because it's a lifestyle program, a lot of times I'm letting them know what they can do at home or at the gym. So now they have the option. So when people have these options, they're going to be more likely to stay on track with their New Year's resolution. And my philosophy with people that I coach is that, hey, let's get healthy for the first time. and the only time. Let me show you how to get well, how to get healthy, so that you never have to be on a diet ever again. And so, again, it's cyclical, and what people don't realize, that in and of itself affects our overall health, indirectly and indirectly. So, again, finding something that you enjoy doing, having a home option where it can be all types of fun ways to do it. Watching your favorite TV show. Why not exercise while you're watching a TV show? Doesn't have to be lying down on a sofa. Walking and listening to some personal development. So there are ways that you can do this when that's going to keep you consistent. Incorporate your family to go for family walks. Make it a part of, treat it as a prescription. If a person, again, in our community is relying on prescription meds to not get healthy, but just to treat the symptom, then look at your exercise or activity, as I like to say, as a way of another form of a prescription. Say, oh, you know what? I have to do this. We do the things that we have to do in order to enjoy the things that we want to do. So if you look at saying, hey, I got to do a little bit of movement, dancing or walking. Hey, I got to do a little bit of, some squats or whatever it may be to get a little stronger. That's going to help you enjoy your vacations. You're going to have a better quality of life. And that just makes it, your joy quotient increase, 100-fold.
So the key to consistency then is not to set a goal of, I'm going to take this diet and I'm going to do this exercise because I'm going to Virginia Beach or Myrtle Beach this time for this summer, so I want to look a certain way, because then you're basically setting yourself up for failure. If you don't go to the beach next year, then you have no motivation. If, someone cancels or, if that condition is no longer
2 minutes.
healthy, whereas that can be a great motivation tool in the short term, it doesn't fix the problem. The problem is you need help built into your lifestyle. It can't be that, you're only eating a certain way for a certain time. It's, like you said, it's better to just, rather it's salad or green beans, instead of just trying to find a way where I need to eat 4 different type of vegetables. If you like salad, then eat salad all the time. Exactly. If you like green beans, then eat green beans all the time. You don't have to have salad in the morning and green beans in the afternoon if that's not you.
Exactly.
It'd be wonderful, but if that's not you, then just do the one that you're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you hit the nail on the head. I mean, it's just about being consistent. 85% of the time, if you're doing, what's kind of required
1 minute,
that you're going to reach your goal. And I like to say this. The important thing is that change your why, or understand your why. Let your why be, I need to be healthy to do all the things that I need to enjoy, whether it's Virginia Beach or whether it's watching your kids graduate from college, as opposed to letting your why be, I need to look a certain way. The look will take care of itself if you're consistent with the small things. Small, consistent steps leads to big changes.
That's a gem. Small, consistent steps lead to big changes. Can you discuss some practical
hold a minute, go to break, take a look.
Shape for people who are already in shape? Oh, sorry. We will be right back with that one on Igniting Change.
Latest from newsone.com, brought to you in part by Wyndham Hotels and Resorts.
With more than 6,000 hotels across the country, a great hotel by Wyndham is closer than you think. Book direct at wyndhamhotels.com.
D.C. residents showing their support for the Jewish community following the deadly attack at a Southern California synagogue. Dozens gathered in front of American Friends of Lubavitch in the Colorado neighborhood last night to pay tribute to the victims of the shooting in Poway, California. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan will sign several bills today, including legislation to reform the university system of Maryland's Board of Regents following its handling of a football player's death last year. News brought to you in part by KFC. KFC's new Cinnabon dessert biscuits pair Cinnabon cinnamon sugar glaze and cream cheese frosting with KFC's classic warm flaky biscuit. And for a limited time, get 4 for free with a 10-piece meal only at KFC. I'm Rick Hosho. When you're looking for news for Black America, go to newsone.com.
Change with Barbara Arnwine. Call us with questions or comments at 1-800-450-7876. That's 1-800-450-7876. Before we left, I was asking Coach Harvey if he could discuss some practical tips for staying in shape.
Yes, Justin, to stay in shape. So again, some things, the things that you follow to get in shape, some of those things remain in place. So again, you're still taking those consistent steps, things that you're going to do daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. You're going to follow, you pretty much have a firm grasp on your nutrition. So again, you want to pretty much keep it there. The biggest problem generally is going to be, how do I continue doing this? Well, remind yourself that one, it's a lifestyle. And because it is a lifestyle, you're not expected to achieve perfection, because by definition, that's something that none of us can ever achieve. But we can strive for excellence. That just means that there's room for improvement. So in understanding that, like I tell my coaching clients, hey, 85% compliance keeps you on your plan, even though you're already in shape. Now, what that looks like, it might say, hey, during the course of a week, if you take 7 days, okay, 4 days out of the week, I'm going to get my workouts in. That's 85% roughly. Then if you say monthly, okay, that's right, roughly 3 weeks out of the month, I can stay on plan. If you look at this annually, you're looking at about 9 months of staying on plan. You have 3 months that you can be off the plan. Just don't take the whole 3 months at once. Right? If you adopt that mindset, then it doesn't. You're not as dogmatic, and you don't feel like, I haven't done anything in a while. I'm not going to maintain. In fact, when you're trying to stay in shape, rest and recuperation becomes a larger part of the equation, more so than it does at the beginning, because your body needs more rest. It needs more things to rejuvenate itself, whether it be massage therapy, whether it be maybe trying some different things. So if you're already in shape and you've been doing, say, strength training a lot, I grew up with a strength training background. So now I've been challenging myself to do more functionally fit things, or things that make me more pliable, more flexible. Definitely incorporating massage, because again, you need to reset the fascia tissue. So to stay in shape, when you're already there, you have to think about training like an athlete, even though you're not an athlete, which means some exercise, lots of rest, proper nutrition, and giving yourself, a mental break. It's important. It's important.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. It's very hard when you try to say, like, I'm going to keep doing all my bad habits this month, and then on the 1st of next month, I'm going to magically you can try it. It is mission impossible, to just go, in 2 weeks, I'm going to suddenly stop, doing this thing I've been doing for the past 5 months, and tomorrow I'm only going to do the right thing. It doesn't work like that. You have to make gradual changes in order to get consistent results.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And we can, a lot of times we can, fool ourselves mentally, because we can try to convince ourselves mentally. But then the minute we start to attempt to implement that program, we have that motivation initially, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna do it, And then, again, the reality sets in for a lot of different reasons. Fatigue, because we're trying to do too much. Life gets in the way, we don't know how to manage it, or create the time, space for that. So again, it's important to understand that it doesn't have to be as structured. And going back to what you asked earlier, that's why, not that you don't join a health club and have a gym membership, but that's why the industry is so lucrative. And that's why weight loss programs are so lucrative. These are billion-dollar industries, because they're never focused on the cost. They're focused on the fact that, they know that we want it fast, which we didn't get out of shape fast.
Right.
So I tell clients, if it took you 4 months or 1 year to get where you are in a deconditioned state, is it fair to say maybe give yourself half that amount of time to get back, as opposed to 30 days? I'm going to be able to do it. That's where the flaw has come. And so it's important to be realistic and adopt a lifestyle approach.
Yeah, and don't take our word for it. Gym memberships, 78% of the people who use gym memberships, who buy gym memberships, don't use them.
Mm-hmm.
That is the motto. If everybody who had one used it, they wouldn't make a profit. The machines would be running 24/7, 365. But you notice if you walk into Planet Fitness, there's a lot of treadmills just sitting there.
Exactly. And that's why they have tons of cardio equipment because, again, and this would maybe be another show, but, when you approach fitness, it doesn't have to, again, be what we think it is. What we see on the magazine covers and what we're hearing in mainstream media and the information flow. I always tell people there's consumer confusion and information overload. And basically, I give people the short list of what to focus on. So you'll know what to do when you go into a Planet Fitness to spend 25, 30 minutes max to get in and out. You'll know how to still enjoy, if you eat meat, a cheeseburger or pizza, the time. So these are all important things because it's part of the lifestyle. I mean, personally, I don't want to say the rest of my life I can't have a chocolate chip cookie, and I love chocolate chip cookies.
Right.
So again, it's a lifestyle.
And like you said, it's better to be 4 days out of 7, 3 weeks out of 4, 9 months out of 10, but it not all build up at once. Then you just say, you know what, I'm going to go hard from January to November, and then I'm just going to do nothing in December. But I'll start back next year. It doesn't work. One of the biggest struggles that people who I used to coach on weight loss had is that when they were home and when they had access to me, then I could get them to eat right and train right and da-da-da-da. But the huge problem came when they had to travel. Travel seems to be the death of a good physical wellness routine. What are some of the best foods, do you think, for great health in travel? Because everyone complains, I gotta eat the hotel food, and they don't have anything healthy. That's the number one complaint I get. What would be your answer to that? I gotta eat bad because when I travel, I don't know how to eat good question.
Great question, Justin. Okay, so for instance, I have a lot of corporate coaching clients around the country, and they're busy professionals. And one of the things that come up often is I'm traveling. Whether I'm traveling to another city, whether I'm traveling to meetings, whether I'm leaving the country. So recently I had a client, she lives in North Carolina, and she was going on a trip to Africa. And so she was like, hey, Coach Harvey, I need to know, what I need to do because I don't know what my food situation is going to be. But that's the same question that I'll get from a person who's traveling to another state. And, fortunately, one of the things that I've always taken pride in is recommending things that I either eat or use myself, or things that I know that I recommend to people where the results are, 100% effective. So recently I became a preferred member with this online shopping club that does nothing but, they've been in this whole wellness space for 33 years. And what they do, excuse me, is they basically you order online and your top of the line wellness nutrition products, snacks, supplements, the whole nine, sent to your home. So I recommend it to all my clients because I use it and they do too. Well, I say, hey, go into the shopping club, go into your account, place your order for your healthy snacks. In fact, we got online together and I gave her some advice. She went to Africa, had her snacks with her. She actually texted me a few shots from Africa while she was there. And she said, hey, this came in handy, these all-natural snacks, the whole nine. Now, certainly your audience can get in touch with me, and I'll be able to share some other information offline with them about the shopping club that's been around 33 years. And in fact, they showed Amazon the model of how to deliver these to them. If you're going to the regular stores, though, I would definitely say you can go to get things like a Kind bar. That's a good, healthy, clean snack. Of course, you can have your fruits and your veggies. But me personally, when I think about traveling, if you're going to stop at a restaurant, they all have salads. Okay, so you get your salad. If you eat animal protein, you throw some clean protein, get grilled chicken. Or fish to throw on top. But the biggest thing is you plan your meals. Have your snacks in the car if you're traveling. So I make it a point to have a clean nutritious snack in the car, because let's face it, if we're in traffic or we're traveling and we're between destinations and we're hungry, well, guess what? Any fast food restaurant starts to look pretty delicious at that point, just depending on how hungry you are. So plan your trip like you would anything else, like you're planning about what you're going to pack, what you're going to wear. Hey, I need this for the road. I got my bottled water. I have my quality nutrition. Snack bars, Kind bars, Luna bars are great to have. And then again, your fast food strategy. If you're stopping in a fast food served sit-down restaurant or a fast food restaurant, there's always the option to have the salad or the protein and veggies, and that will keep you, number one, more alert while you're traveling, eating your protein and veggies. Almost every place now that you can think of, even some greasy spoon places have, quote-unquote, a healthy option.
Yeah, even McDonald's sells apples and salads.
Exactly.
Even Wendy's sells the Caesar salad.
Yes. Exactly.
Like you said, almost everywhere has a salad. But what happens is, like you said, it's not taken into account the same way you take into account, if I'm coming to D.C., I need to see the Washington Monument. Mm-hmm. But you don't need to see it. The way you see it is that you find out how far it is away from your hotel. You find out how you're going to get there. Mm-hmm. You find out what time is open to, go up and look out. It's, it doesn't just happen by magic.
Right.
The same thing with food. Mm-hmm. You can't, I think what we do is we go, I'm going to be in San Francisco. I hope I can eat well. Mm-hmm. Well, you don't wish on a star. Look at what stores are around your hotel.
Well, what was interesting, Justin, getting back to the busy people, busy professional, busy people as a whole. And I tell clients this all the time. They'll say, hey, I'm getting ready to travel. And they may be at a corporate event, and they know they're going to have a buffet or whatever it may be. And I'll just tell them, hey, you know what, let's keep it simple. You're probably going to want to enjoy the corporate dinner. All right? So let's strike a reasonable compromise, part of your plan. Say, hey, I'm going to stick to my plan and eating, a protein and veggie-based breakfast. That could be an egg omelet. It could be a protein shake with almond milk. Then say I'm going to do the same thing with lunch, grilled chicken and salad or veggies. And then I'm going to go to the corporate dinner. And the rule of thumb is, guess what? I'm going to eat whatever I want on one plate. Like I tell my clients, eat whatever you want. You can put whatever you want on that one plate. Just don't go vertical. You can't stack it. Yeah. Don't build a condo. Just put whatever you want. So here's the thing. It's a reasonable compromise. You don't want people to have to be thinking about each and every move in their planning, but keep it simple. Get a box of Kind bars to take with you and have that with your bottled water. Get a box of Luna bars. Again, know that, hey, I'm going to this, fast food place, this is what I'm getting. But if you're eating, again, your Kind bar or a good fat in between, the whole objective, too, is to eat before you get hungry. Right. So that's part of your strategy in your planning as well. Because now you can make more informed, reasonable choices versus, again, any of us. If we're like really, really hungry, pretty much everything on the menu starts looking good.
Yeah.
That's why they say don't shop when you're hungry. We get everything that we shouldn't get. But that's kind of it. Plan ahead of time. Keep it simple. Try to stick with foods that have 5 or less ingredients. If you look at the back of a Kind bar, it has like 4 ingredients. I don't want to turn it over and see 25 different ingredients. Think about and think about that first ingredient. If that first ingredient is something that you can eat as a standalone, like if I flip it over, the first thing it says is, almonds. Oh, I will go buy almonds. First thing,
2 minutes.
But I'm not going to say brown rice syrup. I'm not going to go someplace and say, can I get a cup of brown rice syrup? I'm not going to buy that as a standalone. So that's kind of your rule of thumb. First ingredient, can I eat that as a standalone? It's a good snack to have, a good food to have.
All right, so planning. Treat health and wellness the same way you treat sightseeing or whatever else is important to do on that trip. Mm-hmm. You treat eating good the same way. You plan in advance. And then, like you said, planning in advance means you don't have one protein bar on you. You carry a box.
Exactly.
So that it's not, I don't have this, so now I have to stop at a fast food restaurant. Mm-hmm. It's, I know I have 3 on me if I get hungry. And then, like you said, try to stay ahead of it. make sure that you aren't just starving.
1 minute, 1 minute.
Be starving.
Exactly.
You want to have your diet planned out around your day.
Think about your food as fuel. To see that monument, you should have the fuel to be able to get to the top of it.
Right. You don't let your car go on E about the bus before you fill it up with gas. Treat food the same way. All right, we will be back soon with Igniting Change.
At 95.9 FM.
This report is sponsored by Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. Traveling on 381 Brandywine Road, both directions, northbound and southbound, between Prince Frederick Road and St. Mary's Church Road, it is closed for sinkhole repair. This is right near Carriage Crossing Lane. Also on 301, both northbound and southbound, right at the Harry Nice Bridge, single lane traffic is alternating directions, so you might have some delays getting through that area. Over on the BW Parkway, as you make your way northbound between 450 and 410, construction there has your right lane closed, so it's very slow making it through that area. Same story on 270 as you make your way southbound from before 124. Construction has your left lane. You're on and off the brakes from 118. With more than 6,000 hotels across the country, a great hotel by Wyndham is closer than you think. Book direct at wyndhamhotels.com. I'm Christine Eads for 1450 AM and 95.9 FM WOL, where information is power.
Back to Igniting Change with Barbara Arnwine. Call us with questions or comments at 1-800-450-7876. That's 1-800-450-7876. I want to thank my guest, Coach Harvey, for being on the show today. How can our audience connect with your work and stay involved with the work you're doing?
Certainly, Justin. I can be reached at CoachHarvey99.com. That's the website, CoachHarvey99.com. You can also reach me and follow me on Instagram, Coach Harvey99 on Instagram, and on Facebook, Coach Harvey99 on Facebook.
And the resources you were recommending that you can go on the websites and order food from, what is that website?
Well, it's an online shopping club, and I'm going to have a special surprise for people. I'm going to entice you to get in contact with me. So when they contact me, that shows you that you're committed to getting healthy, to getting to want to get really a good health and wellness program. And I'll have some free goodies for you, including the website as to where you can get these what I find is amazing wellness items from this online shopping club.
Okay, and coming up soon, we're going to have an extended segment of Sound the Alarm with Caitlyn Cobb. My last question for Coach Harvey is, how important is sleep when it comes to getting healthy, and what are your personal sleep recommendations? Are you for alarm clocks, or do you think people should try to let their body be their alarm clock?
Well, we all have our own circadian rhythm, our own natural time that we'll go to sleep and wake up, right? The short answer is I'm really against alarm clocks. I don't know when I physically have been awakened by an alarm clock. I'm just one of those persons, though, I can function off a little sleep, and I've done this as a kid. And I often wake up well before my alarm is set. But I would say this, that fortunately or unfortunately, how you look at it, people do have to use alarm clock because they have things they have to do. But what that signals is that your body is not getting enough rest. So you really should be thinking about how can you structure your day where you can get to bed earlier so that your body can wake up more naturally. That's always the best thing because, again, your body knows when it's out of REM sleep, when it's time to wake up, the whole nine. So if possible, and I do know that sometimes it's just physically not possible, I like to let my body wake up when it can. So for all your listeners, if you're on vacation or if it's the weekends or what have you, make that a habit. Practice that habit. Make sure to say, you know what, unless it's something, soccer camps or whatever, if nothing else, let yourself sleep until you wake up on the weekends and to take advantage of your body's own internal clock. because sleep is very, very important, and the amount of it varies from person to person.
Thank you so much. Now it's time for our extended segment of Sound the Alarm. Take it away, Caitlyn.
Hello, thank you, Justin. Today, if you guys didn't know, my name is Caitlyn Cobb. I'm the Social Media Director and Executive Assistant of the Transformative Justice Coalition, and it's time to sound the alarm. Just to let you know, you can also sign up for our weekly newsletter at tjcoalition.org that Barbara had brought up earlier for an article counterpart that goes more in-depth to the issues I discuss. Today on this special extended segment, we're sounding the alarm on the Russian network that infiltrated our election through social media. Thanks to the Miller Report, we now have an in-depth look at just how far this Russian meddling went. And contrary to what we thought, the technological warfare waged by Russia did not simply start in 2016. And it would have occurred had Trump been in the election or not. All my information for this segment comes directly from the Mueller Report itself. The Mueller Report explains the first form of Russian election influence came principally from the Internet Research Agency, which we'll refer to as the IRA. It's a Russian organization founded by Prigozhin, I'm just saying his last name, and companies he controlled, including Concord Management and Consultant. The IRA conducted social media operations targeted at large U.S. audiences with the goal of sowing discord in the U.S. political system. These operations constituted active measures, a term that typically refers to operations conducted by Russian security services aimed at influencing the course of international affairs. The Mueller Report clarifies, through footnotes, that Mueller's office is aware that other Russian entities engaged in similar active measures, operations targeting the United States. Some evidence collected by the office corroborates those reports, and the office has shared that evidence with other offices in the Department of Justice and the FBI, and that, as discussed in the report, the active measures investigation has resulted in criminal charges against 13 individual Russian nationals and 3 Russian entities, principally for conspiracy to defraud the United States, in violation of a certain section, and the case there is United States v. Internet Research Agency et al. The footnotes also warn that some things from the report have been redacted mainly due to an ongoing FBI case. So what's the true extent of the IRA's influence? Instagram accounts had hundreds of thousands of U.S. participants. IRA-controlled Twitter accounts separately had tens of thousands of followers, including multiple U.S. political figures who retweeted IRA-created content. In November 2017, a Facebook representative testified that Facebook had identified 470 IRA-controlled Facebook accounts that collectively made 80,000 posts between January 2015 and August 2017. Facebook estimated the IRA reached as many as 126 million persons through its Facebook accounts. In January 2018, Twitter announced that it had identified 3,814 IRA-controlled Twitter accounts and notified approximately 1.4 million people Twitter believed may have been in contact with an IRA-controlled account. Social media influence in the 2016 U.S. election, hearing before the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, we learned from Colin Stretch, who's general counsel of Facebook, that Facebook estimated that roughly 29 million people were served content in their newsfeed directly from the IRA's 80,000 posts over the 2 years. Posts from these pages were also shared, liked, and followed by people on Facebook, and as a result, 3 times more people may have been exposed to a story that originated from the Russian operation. Their best estimate is that approximately 126 million people may have been served content from a page associated with the IRA at some point during the 2-year period. And remember, that's just on Facebook itself. The Facebook representative also testified that Facebook had identified 170 Instagram accounts that posted approximately 120,000 pieces of content during that time. Facebook did not offer an estimate of the audience reached via Instagram, which is very interesting. And as I stated earlier, this covert operation didn't start in 2016. Rather, these IRA operations started in 2014. And not only did these efforts begin 2 years prior to the 2016 presidential election, but IRA employees also traveled to the United States on intelligence gathering missions. In June 2014, 4 IRA employees applied to the U.S. Department of State to enter the United States, while lying about the purpose of their trip and claiming to be 4 friends who had met at a party. Ultimately, only 2 of the IRA employees received visas and entered the United States on June 4th, 2014. And during the election, not only were IRA employees trying to come into the United States, but they also were holding political rallies, even remotely. Remember when I spoke about the importance and potential harm of Facebook groups and Facebook pages on an earlier segment? Well, these IRA-controlled groups and pages had hundreds of thousands of people following them, and then would reach out to grassroots organizers already in the U.S. and say for some reason they couldn't attend said rally, and they needed them to take the helm and organize in said rally because they noticed their skills. They did this to give all the political rallies cover. They did this to give all the political rallies cover. Political rallies included rallies for Donald Trump, including one in Florida that was posted about by the Trump campaign itself, and for other various causes. Though the report cautions that it did not appear the Trump campaign or the U.S. organizers knowingly coordinated with Russia in the creation and execution of these rallies. And while Facebook has taken all the heat, resulting in many leaving Facebook as a result, leaving Facebook is not only not feasible for organizations and public individuals, but it's not enough. Starting as early as 2014, the IRA's U.S. operations included social media specialists focusing on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. The IRA later added specialists who operated on Tumblr and Instagram accounts. Initially, the IRA created social media accounts that pretended to be the personal accounts of U.S. persons. By early 2015, the IRA began to create a larger social media group or public social media pages that claimed falsely to be affiliated with U.S. political and grassroots organizations. By February 2016, internal IRA documents referred to support for the Trump campaign and opposition to candidate Clinton. So the Russian support of Trump didn't begin until 2016, 2 years after they had already started their infiltration. And they also stated their opposition to candidate Clinton. The focus on the U.S. presidential campaign continued throughout 2016, and the IRA posted content about the Clinton candidacy before Clinton
2 minutes.
Presidential campaign. If you want to know more information, I actually read the first 100 pages of the Mueller report on Justin and I's YouTube. And you can follow my work on Facebook at facebook.com/CobbCaitlyn92 or on YouTube at youtube.com/Botsy. That's Botsy. I'm Caitlyn Cobb, and now I've sounded the alarm. Back to you, Justin.
Thank you, Caitlyn. That was fascinating. My number one question I want to ask before we go is, how can users, casual social media users, protect themselves from being influenced by foreign government organizations trying to influence their decisions on U.S. political policy?
Well, we can all kind of try to break from our bubbles and talk to people from the other side of the aisle and see what people are really facing. We shouldn't take anything we see on social media at face value, especially because even news organizations that we all respect were also
1 minute.
Such to be like, hey, this is a thing that's happening, when it wasn't really true.
All right, so talk to as many people as possible, and then you won't be fooled by fake people.
Yes.
All right, it was great to have our guests, Coach Harvey, Caitlyn Cobb, Barbara Arnwine. I'm Justin Arnwine. You've been watching Igniting Change.